All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. I am. Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister, Jonathan Simmons. We thank God for all those of you who join in with us here on this broadcast. We especially want to give a big shout out to those of you who are watching on the archive or the replay on demand. That means that you took time out of your busy schedule to tune in and watch the Real Talk Sports Show. We're very, very appreciative of you for that. Remember, follow us anywhere on social media, please. It is Real Talk Sports, the number 7. You also can follow me at Minister J. Sims. You can see it right there on the screen for those of you who are watching. And for those of you who are listening on the podcast, it is Real Talk Sports, the number 7. It's sports with an S. And Minister is Minister J. Sim. So that's how you can follow me anywhere on social media. Well, guys, you know, when we do this show, we like to bring on one of the most beautiful women in sports talk, radio, or TV. We simply call her the Queen. Tree Dolman is back in the building. Hey,
Hello, Jonathan. Hello, everyone.
what's going on?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am doing great. I'm doing great. I'd be better if I found that once again, I'm gonna have to bring my computer to one of those geek guys because every time I open up a browser to do the show, like when I check, there's like 16 like pages that are open. I'm not sure what causes that. I try to go and delete some, and I think I got some bugs in the machine. You know, those little tracker
Mm,
guys. So I think I'm gonna bring them to the Geek Squad and let them take over,
yeah.
get me cleaned out. Well, as always, another a big weekend in sports, and we had some breaking news earlier today, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And I'm totally shocked, but I'll flash it up on the screen for those of you who are watching here. And like I said, we'll talk about it a little later. Bum, bum, bum. Live Golf and PGA Tour, and I think the other tours, the PR Tour, are all a happy family, allegedly. Now, we'll, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, we'll talk a little bit, of course, a lot of it about the NBA playoffs. Great stuff going on. We now got a series. It's tied at 1-all, and the Miami Heat knocked off the Denver Nuggets on the road. So now, in fact, they technically have home court advantage, technically, with the next 2 games being played in Miami, I believe. And we'll also talk a little NFL at the very end of our broadcast. And of course, guys, we know now that we have segments by the Queen, and hopefully our Super Bowl champion will be joining us this evening later on for his segment as well. So, like I said, guys, great stuff going on here. And remember, go to, for those of you on YouTube, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Please, we need you. We're trying to get to that magical 1,000 subscribers. Remember, it is Real Talk Sports TV. That's how you find us on YouTube. Everywhere else is Real Talk Sports, the number 7. But on YouTube, it is in fact Real Talk Sports TV. So please go in there and follow us and subscribe, subscribe, and please subscribe. We greatly appreciate you for doing that if you could. Because like I say again, we're trying to get to that magical 1,000 subscribers. Because I think YouTube, I don't know what they do, but I don't know what they throw a party for you. We want to get to 1,000. That's the big number. That is the big number. All right. Well, let's not waste any more time here. Let's get to it. The big breaking news just kind of came across the bow earlier this afternoon, Tree, that I guess the Live Tour and the PGA Tour have now merged. First of all, I know you are a golfer. You love the sport. What do you think about this big merger that we have seen now?
Whew. I'm almost speechless, right? Almost, because I did not see this coming. I don't think anyone saw this coming. And I'm just super shocked at the news. Super shocked. It just, I'm sure that at some point I figured this would happen, but I figured it would be way down the line. We know there's different clubs that merge. That's how we have the NBA and the NFL. So there's been a lot of mergers when it comes to professional sports. But this soon, and just with everything that was going on and the different lawsuits, it's just a shocker to me. And I feel that the merger has taken place because of money. I think
Oh,
that people are paid
there it
off.
is.
That's just my opinion. I may be wrong. I may be right. Who knows? But it just seems like people were paid off for this deal to take place. Because how do you go from talking about morals and things of that nature to all of a sudden you've changed, you've flipped your script 180
Right,
degrees?
right. And see, this to me is one of the keys, because I think that this has been a big problem with Western society, is that you come on and everybody was lambasting players about going over there and talking about traders, and then he talked about the fact that there was some type of issue, a very serious issue, because someone lost their lives, about the Saudis actually being involved in the possible death of a citizen because they spoke out. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, you were starting to paint these guys as persona non grata. You were, and folks, before you flip off the rails, I'm not a Trump fan or anti-fan. I'm just saying that Trump was lambasted because his golf course hosted LIV tournaments. Players were being blocked from being played in some tournaments here in the U.S. And now suddenly, shockingly, we all of a sudden have kumbaya, where the two leagues have merged. So I think it really is a money thing, and that's the rumor that the Saudis have agreed to pump in billions of dollars into the this new merged league here. So I'm just thinking some kind of snark. I'm just going to read the headlines really quickly from NBC News. Said the PGA Tour and the Saudi-backed Live Golf announced a merger Tuesday in a stunning end to the bitter rivalry on the fairways, in the courts, and in the geopolitical stage. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan, who once said playing in the live events would warrant an apology, said the deal would benefit the sport. Yeah, this to me is just hypocrisy at the highest level. I mean, all this talk about, like you said earlier, about, uh, you know, literally people being called unpatriotic behind playing in this. And now all of a sudden, mysteriously, with no warning, some of the players were even saying they were shocked. They had no idea what was going to happen. Some players are angry because, if you remember, some players on both sides, whether you were a live guy or PGA guy, they got a lot of angry pushback from fans, from sponsors, and from the individual leagues, depending on which one you were in. And now all of a sudden, everything's cool, we're good, and together, yeah, something just doesn't smell right to me.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm just saying. Now here we'll get some quotes off of Twitter. Phil Mickelson, who, as you guys know, is one of the early jump ship guys to live, he simply tweeted, "Awesome day today, smiley face." And former President Trump, as I mentioned earlier, had was one of the first people to do a tournament here in the U.S. It says he took a victory lap Tuesday, declaring he had predicted the PGA Tour would have to come to an agreement with the Saudi-backed golf operation. And of course, it got terrible pushback from people who were survivors and loved ones of the victims of 9/11. They said they had protests out of LI live events, drawing attention to Saudi connection to 2001 terrorist attacks. And they said in the statement by the 9/11 Families United Chair, Terry Strada, PGA Tour leaders should be ashamed of, here's the word again, hypocrisy and greed. Yeah, so like I said again, it just shows you, man, a lot of times money, people have a tendency to be bought. All right, guys, you see it up on the screen there. Please make your comments on social media. What do you guys think about the PGA and Live Golf Tour merger? You see it right there. You can type it in on YouTube. You can type it in on Facebook, and we will certainly respond as we talk for just a few more minutes about this tour. Well, now on the one good thing about this for the fans is now fans are guaranteed when they go to top tournaments, all the players can play. There'll be no ban on any players because the league is all
No,
merged.
all the players could play at the PGA.
Was that true?
Yes, that's true. All the players on the PGA can play.
Okay, so I thought there was some tournaments like the Memorial. They were saying that some of the guys from the Live Tour they didn't let them play.
Right.
So, right.
I'm not saying that they allowed everyone to play. I'm saying all of the guys on the PGA Tour has talent, is what I'm saying. They can play.
No. I'm not debating that, but I'm saying that you had, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 of the top 10 players in the world on the Live Tour. So I guess
Right. And
from a fan's point
they
of
were
view,
not allowed to play in certain tournaments. That is correct.
right. So from a fan's point of view, now they're guaranteed to see all the top players in the world. That's one of the good thing about it. But like I said again, I just think it's a money grab, and it's something that really should have never got to this point. I think that they could have negotiated this earlier on in the situation and never had this fiasco. So again, guys, your comments. What do you think? It's over. It's over. It's over. The merger is just about complete. Live Tour and the PGA Tour now together. I'd like to get you guys' opinions on it. Tell me what you think and what your thoughts about it as we get ready to go to a break in just a few minutes. Well, while waiting for people to chime in and while I'm going to take a break and get me some water in just a second. Um, NBA Finals. Did you expect the Heat to win Game 2, or did you think the Joker was going to help Denver get that 2-0 lead?
No, I already told you I'm picking Miami Heat to win.
Well, I
So
did too. I mean, I
I
did.
was not surprised that they won game 2 because again, the Heat, they just have something this year. They have that They have what you can't teach. And they believe and they go into tough places to play and they win. So no, I was not surprised.
Yeah, so Todd jumped in here. He said the commissioner get paid. Bottom line. Todd always gets.
That's the same thing I think, Todd.
That's what we're talking about. It's about the money, and the money. There's no doubt some kind of nonsense was going on for sure. And we have also another comment here from Donna Jones. She says, do you think any PGA golfers will decide not to play in any tournaments or retire, or will the money guide their decisions?
Donna, that's actually something that I did think would happen because you have players who were loyal and you have players who felt that it was just bad for players again because of the morals going over to the live tournament. And I do think that some players, because of their morals, may retire. But then again, you do want to play the game that you love. So I don't know. But they could retire. They are financially able to. But we'll see. I believe that there will definitely be some pushback. And excuse me, I need to get some water too. But yeah, I definitely think that there will definitely be some pushback. And the two people that I think about the most when I first heard about this merger was Rory and Tiger Woods. They were speaking out and pro PGA and just really talking about it. And I mean, they did a lot for the PGA during that time. And because of the caliber of players that they are and wins that they have under their belt, it just really made a big difference. So I do think that the PGA owes them something. When you have loyalty to an organization and then they just go and change everything that they told you that they stood for when you believed in them, they definitely owe them to something.
No doubt. A lot of pressure was put on Rory. I was hoping to get a clip from when he was at the Tour Championship last year, because obviously this was in the height of all the vitriol, and the guy was really saying it gets to a point where it's talking to. It was actually affecting his game because he had to answer all these questions beforehand. Like you said, people on both sides of the aisle, just ridiculous. Let's go back to social media here. Tasha, let's be honest. When Real Talk Sports, it's Live is run and owned, controlled by terrorist country behind the 9/11 funding of pilots. This is facts. Well, look, the only thing I can tell you is that unfortunately, and I just want to preface this with this statement. I haven't traveled all around the world, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but certainly the U.S. is one of the better countries to live in. We don't have the secret police knocking on our door. We don't have people being arrested and just snatched up for no reason. So, we could be in a much worse situation. But our country, over the years, has often done things based on money more so than quote unquote, the national interest that they have claimed otherwise. So if anybody's expecting that, hey, this is going to change, we see it again, Todd. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we said we want about the Saudis being involved, but we're 20 something years past 9/11, and at no time had the United States broken off relationship with the Saudis. So, and again, I'm not trying to, disparage on anyone who lost their lives in 9/11, but without going down the wormhole, there's some more things behind that than I think any of us will know as citizens. So I'm going to leave it right there. But anyway, the breaking news is, in case you were in a cave somewhere, I'll put it up on the screen. The big happy logo, there it is. Live Golf and the PGA Tour have now joined together. So that's the story. And what we're going to do before we go to a break. Actually, we're going to go to a break, and then we're going to come back for you know who. The Queen's Court is coming up. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Thank you very much. We'll be back.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
All right, guys, you know what time it is. It's time for words from Queen's Court. Tree, take it away.
Hello, everyone. It is time for the Queen's Court. As you know, this is when we talk about professional athletes who are doing great things in their communities. And today we are focusing on the Hall of Famer, Alonzo Mourning. He has been doing so many phenomenal things in the Miami community since 1997, I believe is when he first started Alonzo Mourning Charities. And now he has changed the name of the organization to the Mourning Family Foundation. They do phenomenal work in the city of Miami. I was about to say city of Atlanta, but in the city of Miami. He and his ex-wife have a high school named after him. I mean, they just do so much for the community. Each year, he used to host a golf tournament and a basketball game and basketball camps and so many different things. It was called Alonzo's Summer Groove. And now he's kind of wither that down a little bit because I think it was almost like a week or close to a week of festivities. But now he has the Winter Groove. So now it's no longer the Summer Groove, but now it's the Winter Groove. And during his Winter Groove, he has a 5K. He still does a basketball clinic. They do health fairs. He has different artists coming out where kids and everybody can paint. And he still has the golf tournament. But it's still a great way that he raises a lot of money. Another great point that I would like to talk about with Alonzo Mourning is that he also has the Overtown Youth Center. I have been to this center, and it is such a phenomenal place. They actually are pretty much finished, almost finished with the new Overtown Youth Center that has gym inside and classrooms. It really looks phenomenal. And you still have an opportunity, if you want to, you can purchase a brick and be a part of history and make a donation to help with their Brick Capital Fund campaign that they have. But with the Overtown Youth Center, they hold a lot of camps there. They have after school programs. They have kids where they can come and get help with their homework. They do camps in the summertime. This is really a great place for kids to come. And they said that all of their kids have graduated high school, which is really phenomenal. Another thing that Mourning Family Foundation does, they feed families. When there was COVID going on, you would see them out and about giving free food to families. They would partner with other people. They also feed families for Thanksgiving, where they give away turkeys and boxes of food and different things of that nature. But the Mourning Family Foundation, they help with the youth, with sports, with education. Yes, this is the new building. And if you can look at this and see, this is night and day to the older building. The older building just had one gym in it. It wasn't really that large. This is a place that can hold so many of our youth and so many families and help with their education. They have computer rooms and they encourage the youth to have entrepreneurship and just different things of that nature. But I really, really would like for you all to go to the website, take a look at the wonderful things that the Mourning Family Foundation are doing in the city of Miami, because you will be touched. They touch so many families and so many of our youth in so many different areas. And with this Overtown Youth Center that was just on the screen, this building is phenomenal. It's not open yet. It's close to being open. It is opening this year. They have been building it, but it will open this year. And you will just see all of the youth that will benefit from this building and from this organization, because again, they help feed families. They help with education. They help with summer programs, after school programs. I spoke with them about doing a reading program. So there's just so many different things that the Mourning Family Foundation does. But I am super proud of Alonzo and his family, because you can tell that he really gives back from his heart to the community. And that's why he is so well respected. So not only is he a Hall of Famer, but he is truly a Hall of Fame giver and a Hall of Famer in the community because of his heart and what he does and gives back to the community and the families for the city of Miami. So,
well, that was
do you have any comments or questions? I'm sorry, what did you say?
That was fantastic. Just to know about all the stuff that he's doing here. Let's pop them on the screen here, social media. And there's Donna saying, hey, it's good to see athletes giving back to the community.
Yes, it is. And didn't Todd have a comment up there?
Yep, let's go ahead and go here back to social media one more time here. And Todd was saying that Alonzo is
a great guy. Yes, he is a great guy, Todd.
Well, Tria is a good stuff here. And speaking of a great guy, we have a great guy that is on with us every week. He is not one, but two-time Super Bowl champion. He is also a member of the Fort Valley State Sports Hall of Fame. The one and only number 38, the one and only number 38, Tyrone Poole is back in the building. What's going on, sir?
Hey, hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. All those in TV and radio land. Hope everybody had a great day.
See, I want to show you guys something really quick here. I want you to take a look at Tyrone here in this shirt here. See that? See, this is what happened when you work that thing. See, you got the muscles rippling there, popping through. That's what happens when you take good care of yourself and work the thing properly, which he'll be telling you about in just a little bit. Tyrone, what do you think about Alonzo? First of all, have you had any interaction with him in your career? I know you travel around, do a lot of things. And if so, tell us a little bit about that. But if not, what do you think about what he's doing down there in Miami with his family to try to reinvigorate the community?
No, I haven't had any interactions with Alonzo Mourning. I do remember the Hornets when of course, Carolina, the Panthers were. The Hornets actually were there in Charlotte before the Panthers came, so they were. Uh, he was in Charlotte at that time, but it wasn't. It wasn't like I was looking for him, but never ran into one another. Basketball season, I'm pretty sure he goes and does what he needs to do because usually during basketball season, we're involved in some type of football activity, so we kind of like miss one another. Probably the same thing here in Atlanta. You may think a lot of these sports athletes, run into each other, hang around each other. Really, we don't. Especially those who really, they play the game hard and then they take off and go on vacation and then they come back and play their sport. So everybody's, missing one another, as we go. So, but I never had an opportunity to run into him, but it's always good to have people giving back. You don't necessarily have to be an athlete. You can be anybody, as long as you have a compassion to see other people do better. That's what it's all about. I don't care if you are the letter A in the alphabet or you the letter K or the letter Z. It doesn't matter. As long as you are doing your part to help people understand so that they can be better. Yeah, some good stuff that he's doing in Miami.
No doubt, man. I always like to say good to see anybody doing anything good. And if I'm not mistaken, Tyrone, speaking of that, well, I'll let you get into that more in your segment. But, Tyrone was on the ground floor doing some things with some other athletes in his hometown. I'm sure he might want to speak about that in his segment. Yeah, man, it's a lot of good stuff going on out there. And that's one of the things we're going to try to do on this show is that to highlight the things that are going good because there's enough bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's plenty of that. Okay. So, and if you want to see that, obviously we're going to talk about those things that are important, but really our show is to try to uplift, every now and then be a little funny and basically encourage you to do the right thing. And also let you know that there are plenty of people out there, athletes and otherwise, that are doing good stuff and you can be a part of it. I mean, just whatever you can do it.
That's true. And I do just also want to say that for those who are here in Atlanta this Saturday, the National Brain Tumor Society had our inaugural 5K at the Battery, and we beat our goal. We had a goal of $100,000 to raise, and right now we're at $115,000, and we had a lot of people coming out walking and running, and it was a great coverage, and it was just a great day, very emotional day, but thank you to everybody who supported and sent well wishes for that, just because it was just such a phenomenal day and a great step in the right direction for a cure.
Certainly like to hear, like I said, there's so much good stuff going on, and we just try to encourage people that, hey, man, get out there and do your thing, whatever it is. I mean, if in your church, on your own, I don't care what it is that you're trying to do, just, go ahead and do that. I mean, sometimes we make this thing to be too hard. I mean, it's not. It's just do
everybody
thing, whatever it may
that.
be. You're surely right. You're surely right. So again, guys, check them out. I'm gonna try to get that up on the screen for you so you can see it. There it is right there, braintumor.org. So check them out and help them. All right, guys, we're gonna take a little bit of break, and then when we come back, we're gonna teach you how to work that thing. All right, guys, we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Keep it locked right here, and don't go nowhere.
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
This is your time to get what you want. Go work that thing with Work That Thing supplements.
All right, guys, you know what time it is? Time to find out more about how to work that thing. Tyrone Poole, it's all yours.
You're muted, Tyrone.
I think Jonathan muted me, man. Jonathan, you got to stop messing with the buttons. Stop messing with the buttons. Yeah, but always good, man, to be a part of your show and to be a part of all those sports fans out there. As they would say, 2 times, when you go to speak, right? There's 2 times that you want people to clap very, very loud for you. When you first stand up, that's the first time they're going to clap very loud for you. And then you sit down before your allotted time. So if you're supposed to be up there for 20 minutes, you owe them and give them some change back and give them 5 minutes back. So they'll clap very loud for you. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to start very quickly. And I just want to touch on, the Work That Thing supplements. And then I want to highlight a few things that we have coming up. That we have Jonathan playing with the keys back there, man. He like a kid Christmas time. But I'm gonna touch on the Work That Thing supplements real quick, and then I want to highlight, what we have coming up in the Tyrone Poole 38 Foundation, June 24th, and then I want to talk about a few ways, maybe 3 or 4 ways that you can overcome adversity. You can overcome distractions, or you can overcome hard times, because guess what? We all go through it. As athletes, we went through it. A 3-game losing streak. Don't nobody like it. We got to find some kind of way to get out of it. Maybe in your life, you're looking for a job and you haven't found that job yet. You're on a 3-month hiatus and you haven't found that job yet. How do you get over hard times? How do you get through tough times? All right. So you got to hang around for that. I'm going to give you a quick snippet of that. All right, so Work That Thing supplements. Just let you guys know, we got some new items in the store. We got weight loss items, even for the men, colon cleansing, colon, help the men with their colon. Women, got hair products. And so, men too, they trying to keep their hair strong, trying to keep their hairline from running away from the face. But we got something that can help you with that, right? So, and also, that African mango, you need to check that out. But no, we got a lot of new items in the store. We're growing every day, all right? So what I want to talk about real quickly is the event that we're having June 24th. And yes, I am the CEO and founder of the Tyrone Poole 38 Foundation. And we've all heard the old saying. If you can dream it by yourself, if you can do your dream by yourself, then the dream ain't big enough. It ain't big enough if you can do it by yourself. That's why they say teamwork makes the dream work. That's right. Teamwork makes the dream work. So the TP38 Foundation is looking to raise donations to help secure the ultimate success in life skills seminar. That's right. This program includes local speakers, self-examining study guides for the youth, life situations acted out in skits. All right. Because I feel like I learn better through visual than I do audio. I need both of them, but I learn a lot when I see it and I remember it. And also it's going to be fitness. What we want to do with this event that is catered to the youth and is free to the youth, based off of your giving. So the more we can give, then the more people can rally around, because we want to reform, refill, and restore our youth. Where are we going to do this at? In my hometown of LaGrange, Georgia. That's right. It's a small town, about an hour and 20 minutes south of Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, the hot ATL, hot Atlanta. So why is this important to me? Why is it important to me? Why should it be important to you? Well, number one, why it's important to me, LaGrange? Because I know the struggle. I know the struggle in a small town. And I tell you what, if it had not been for athletics, my athletic ability, I don't know where would I be. What's the old saying? Where would I be If it had, y'all got about to get me to start singing. The second reason that this project is important to me, and probably the main reason, not probably, it is the main reason. The youth are killing themselves. So this is why it's important to you as well, because not only is it happening in my hometown, but it's happening everywhere. The youth, they're taking each other's lives. Just a couple of weeks ago in LaGrange, there was a 13-year-old who shot another 13-year-old in the chest. All right, it was all over the news up here in Atlanta. LaGrange is getting the notoriety for the wrong reason. And you know what? I want to bring that to an end. I want to stop that tragedy. I want to stop it from spreading, but I need the financial support of my partners. I can't do it by myself. I've already done a lot myself. So now this is where my partners come in. All right. So if you hear my battle cry, go ahead and donate. Go to the Tyrone Poole 38 Foundation.org, TyronePoole 38Foundation.org. And then when you donate, check this out. Not only will you get an autographed copy of my first ever book, Ultimate Success in the Game of Life, but you also get a signed, yes, that's right, a signed 8x10 personal New England Patriots football action photo. All right. You can keep it for yourself, or you know what? Sell it later on and get about $10,000, $20,000 for it. All right. Either way, it's going to pay you back for helping me help these youth of today so that they can have a better tomorrow. And that's what it's all about, people, helping each other. So go to Tyrone Poole 38 Foundation.org. You got a bronze level, silver level, and gold level. Oh, and I got to remind you, we are a 501c3 organization, which means your financial gift is tax deductible. So remember, teamwork makes the dream work, people. So let's go make it happen. All right. So now what I want to do, I want to jump real quickly to about 3 or 4 ways that you can overcome tough times and tough situations. All right. Because these teams are going through tough times, tough situations. All right. You as individual, you go through tough times, tough situations. So why is it that some get out, some overcome, and some don't? Even in sports, you got some teams that have been losing forever. Okay, and I believe even here in Atlanta, I believe that Coach Smith, he has picked up on these 7 steps. I'll try to give you 7, but I believe he's picked up on majority of these steps that's going to help the Falcons turn around their season. So these are principle information that I'm giving you, people. All right. So the first thing you got to do if you want to make it through tough situations, you got to acknowledge the situation. Acknowledge the situation, people. Sometimes we just got to say what it is, what it is. All right. Again, just like any sports team, we know we need a quarterback. It is what it is. Let us get through this season and let us find somebody during the offseason, or let us find somebody during the draft. But it is what it is. So in life, if you want to overcome situations, tough situations, you got to acknowledge the situation first. All right. All right. The next thing is, once you acknowledge the situation, you got to develop a plan of action. Again, these sports teams, the Falcons, whoever, the Braves, the Hawks, whatever. Okay, the United, they understand where their weaknesses are. They have acknowledged it. Now they are developing a plan. We pick up athletes during the offseason, during the free agency period, or can we find this athlete in the draft? All right, you got to make a plan. What do we have already? What do we need to get rid of? Okay, you got to have a plan, people. Without a plan, you will not succeed. All right, you will stay stuck in misery. All right, I give you 2 more. I'll give you 2 more. All right. The next one is you got to seek help when necessary. Seek help when necessary. Yes, even Coach Smith here with the Falcons, I'm pretty sure he had some conversations with some of the other winning coaches around the league, and probably went back and talked to Mike Vrabel with the Tennessee Titans. But that's what great people do. Wise people surround themselves with wise counsel, right? You got to seek help when necessary if you want to overcome tough situations. And the last one that I'm going to give you, okay? Change what you can. Change what you can. You can't change everything. You can't change everything at one time. That's why I tell these fans, when these head coaches come in, They looking and thinking that just because they got a new head coach, they're going to the Super Bowl that year. Just because that coach came from a Super Bowl winning team. People, you got to understand, it takes time. It takes time. You got to change what you can when you can. So if you do those 4 things I just gave you, if you change what you can when you can, you seek help when necessary, develop a very strong plan of action, and always acknowledge the situation, then I promise you, as I'm sitting here on Real Talk Sports, you will overcome tough situations in life. So that's my work that thing message to all of the great sports people out there watching Real Talk Sports. Back to you, Jonathan. Back to you, the queen, Miss Tree.
Well,
right there, man.
Can I just give Tyrone a hand? That was phenomenal, Tyrone. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
I loved it.
Thank you. Maybe you can go to bat for me and tell them, hey, y'all need. Maybe I need to go take Shannon's spot. Take Shannon's spot in front of Skip.
Yes.
I don't know, Johnny. Hey, Johnny, you better pay me, man.
Hey, listen, bro, you would fit right in, man. I mean, you just give it to him like Shannon give it to him. That's you, straight, no filter. Just, hey, this is what it is. This is how we do it when we from the HBCU, Skip. So yeah, how you like me now? It's up for grabs, man. I mean, throw your hat in the ring, bro.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff, man. I got a lot of stuff on my plate, but I enjoy being right here with the Queen and with Jonathan the Minister. Even though you like a kid with a candy store playing with them buttons over there, man. So, I had to give you a heart, man.
And sometimes it's not me. Sometimes the buttons are playing on their own. I was telling Tree before he came on, I'm going to bring my computer to the Geek Squad, because what happens is as soon as I kind of go on and open up my screen, I notice when I go in, I'm like, why is it slowing down? It's showing like I got 16 tabs open. So somehow I got some, what do you call those things? Lord have mercy. Not bugs, but like tracers. And they just tag you, man. They open up these files and they're doing some mischief. So I'm going to bring them in and get it tightened up, because we are looking to move forward, heading into the summer and into the fall season. So we got to get this thing right, because a lot of great stuff is happening all around Metro Atlanta, really all around the world of sports. Tyrone, before we go to the break, I wanted to get your thoughts. We done this big merger between the PGA and the Live Tour in golf.
Now,
about money. Yeah,
money.
so you can see it on the screen there that it was big news today. Suddenly, the PGA Tour and the Live Golf Tour, which had been at like lawsuits everywhere, some players playing on the tour, some guys being blocked from doing tournaments. Suddenly they announced, hey, we're friends. We're all going to merge. So what do you think about this? Is a money grab? What's going on with this big merger of enemies to friends?
Come on, man. You know what it's all about, man. It's all about money. Everything people do, they do it about money. Go back to the NFL and the AFL. All right. The AFL, you can pretty much use that story right here. Okay. The AFL, we want to create a league. We're going to steal your players and we're going to bring them over here. We got a wide open game. So we're going to entice those guys not to go to the NFL, which is boring. So now the NFL says, hold on. You taking money out of our pocket. So anybody who understands what I'm saying, if you really want to make people change, you know what? You don't hold no picket signs, even though that's part of it, but you take money out of their pocket. You take money out of their pocket. Oh, people say, what do you say? They start flying right. So situation here, it's about money grab. So let's come together, and I'd rather for us to enjoy that money together than for us to drop money through cracks that we don't need to let happen. So I just think, it's a money grab. So AFL, NFL, same thing here with the golf.
Well, I think we're all in agreement. It's more about the money, more so than anything else. And I think now that the Saudis, it has been mentioned that they're going to put a lot of money towards the tour. All the players' purses are going to go up. And the fans are going to be happy, at least some of them will, that no player now will be blocked from any tournament. So it ought to be pretty interesting. All right, guys, keep it locked right here for more of the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be back. But don't go nowhere, because we got one more segment to talk about, guys. So keep it locked right here for more of the show.
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
And we're back for the final segment of the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host and minister. Right next to me is the lovely Queen Tree Dolman, and right next to her, the champion, Tyrone Poole. Well, guys, I think we're in the home stretch now for the camps. I think we got maybe 1 or 2 more days left for the OTAs, and then they take a break, a hiatus. Tyrone, I know sometimes you're like, well, hey, man, who cares what I'm thinking about this? But a lot of guys really like to hear kind of like the inside on kind of what goes on in the OTAs, and then with that break, kind of what players do in between before the camp starts. So if you can kind of tell some of those people and kind of give them an idea from a guy that's been there, done that. First of all, the OTAs, kind of what that's all about, and then, what the players do in that break before they have to come back to camp.
Well, first thing I say this, that's a good question. And there's a lot of people, like you said, out there looking for information. And first thing I say is most of the time in these like little mini camps that they have right after the draft, there are no veterans there. No veterans there. I'm pretty sure Tree can contest to that with her husband, late husband playing. I'm pretty sure, hey, I'm sitting at home right now working out with my trainer. So they're all rookies and maybe first year and second year guys that are taking part of these mini camps. And then there's the mandatory mini camp that usually happens around June. Then, that's when you see the veterans come in. So the mini camps that they have early right after the draft, that's an opportunity for those rookies to kind of like, get a good grasp on the playbook offensively, defensively, and some of those first year, second year players to kind of show the coaches that, hey, I've learned this playbook a little bit better than I did last year. So you guys should think about keeping me around because, when they bring guys in, they got to let guys go. So that's why I say the NFL is like revolving doors. They bring in 5 guys got to go. So, this is very important to some of those first year guys who were rookie last year. Maybe they didn't play like they were supposed to. They really trying to show the coaches that they are worth the draft pick. And then those second year guys, they know they're kind of like hanging on, by a thread. So they definitely want to make sure they do right. And then, like I said, June 15th, that's usually the mandatory mini camps. Those when the veterans come back. But they may not get as many reps because, again, training camp is coming up and everything like that. So, this is a good time for the young cats, as they would say. I used to be a young rookie, a young cat. And, for them to grasp that playbook and get out there and get familiar with the NFL practice. But, even while they're doing mini camp, I say this in closing, they still lift weights. They still kind of work out, so it's still, they're just adding practice to it. They're still adding practice to it. So they still get days off, and this, I'll say this also. I remember my first time when I went to mini camp and, coming from Fort Valley, our playbook was probably, about as thin as 2 sheets of paper. Is you got him. One page says you got, and then the other page says him. So you got him wherever he goes, white on rice. So, but when I got to Carolina, I'm like, the first mini camp, and see, this is the pressure that some of these young guys go through who are not exposed to a real big program. When I got there, the first day of practice, they put in, I think, 7 defenses. 7 defenses. Now, mind you, I'm just used to understanding one defense. And each defense required you to do something different with certain movement of the offense. So if one guy moved, if the tight end shifted from the right to the left, or that fullback, at the time they played with a fullback, if he motioned out and went to the right or left and formed trips or 2x2, changed the whole complexity of the defense. And here I am, a rookie coming from HBCU, man. You talking about somebody's head was like swimming. Boy, I was like, where's the Excedrin, the BC powder? I'm like, who got some type of headache medicine, man? Because I'm like, my head is swimming. But yeah, that usually, for those rookies, what's happening on that first week of mini camps, man. And it's tough. I'm telling you, it's tough.
Wow. Trying to get that speed of the game acclimated. Let's go to social media here. I think Todd's got a question about the Falcons. It says here, Tree, can you read that? I'm having even my glasses.
Question: should Ritter hold his own passing camp like in Miami, like Matt Ryan did before his Super Bowl year? Matt paid for it all, showed great leadership.
What you think, Tree?
Do I think that he should hold his own passing camp? If my thing is, if that's what he's passionate about, then yes, right? You don't want to hold the camp just because you're a professional football player and you're a quarterback. So you just do it because you can get a lot of money, right? I mean, everybody doesn't have that passion of really wanting to get out there and teach the youth. But if he is passionate about it, teaching the youth, and that's his way of giving back, then I think he definitely should, because there's so many youth that would look up to him and who would come to his camp, and he'll just make such a big difference in their lives. And if that's the reason that he would do it, then yes, I would definitely say yes.
Yeah, let me just go to the second question, the second statement, because I think Todd was talking more about a passing camp with other players. He says here, get with the players, and he said Tom Brady did every year. So he's talking about, I think, before the Super Bowl year, getting the players, like for example, what we've seen, he seems to have a pretty good chemistry with Drake London. And so whether they might in the break, and Tyron, I don't know if you have enough time for this during the break, to get together and say, look, we're going to get the quarterback and all the receivers together to, like he said, hey, he wants to see some leadership from Ritter, take control of range, treat not youth, his own team. Yeah, we got that straightened out, Todd.
Sorry, I didn't see the other slide, Todd. Yes, I get it now. But definitely, I say yes, 100%. That's the only way that you get better during the season, is by getting together with the players as often as you can and getting that chemistry during the off season.
Yeah, I would say, by him not establishing himself yet, I would say he needs to make sure he stay around the facility as much as he can to learn from them coaches. And he wants to be a leader. Like I said, most of these veterans, else, maybe in Miami, maybe in Arizona. So if Ritter wants to be a leader, then he call on those guys and tell them to get their butt to the practice facility, and we're gonna work out here. So he don't necessarily have to go to Miami to be a leader. I would think he needs to stay at the facility, look at as much film as he can to study the game, because let's remember, he has no footage, so to speak. Okay, no footage that he can really see how teams gonna play him. I think he's gonna come out this year, and I think he may be like on fire, a man on fire. And that's because he doesn't have a full year of footage. Okay, now once he get that full year of footage, then let's come back, because now teams have a whole season of seeing Ritter take every snap in every situation, and then they'll be able to plan their defenses accordingly. So don't be surprised if he come out this year and have a great 2023 campaign. That's only because he's unknown. But as far as the players being a leader, get those guys back up here into this facility, and this is what we're going to work out. So come on, veterans, get out of Arizona, get out of California, get out of Miami, get your butt back up here to Atlanta, and we're going to get out here and throw this ball on our own practice field and work some chemistry.
Yeah, that seems like the magic formula. I mean, I was watching the NFL top 100 all time, And one of the guys they point out, two guys they point out, obviously, not obviously, but ironically with the Colts, they pointed out in the 50s the tremendous Hall of Fame combination of Johnny Unitas to Raymond Berry. And then fast forward about 40 years later, you had the same thing with Peyton Manning and Marvin Henderson, and talked about, and you always like to talk about this, Tyrone, about, knowing what your position is, where things are. They said that every game, in addition to the practice, that they would do everything on the route tree before the game or practice at every single game. And I don't know if you got a chance to see that yourself, because I think you were with the Colts for a year or two. So that's what they had. And then, of course, going back 40 years ago, that was something that Johnny Unitas did in the offseason every single year with Raymond Berry. Literally, they would be throwing one another hundreds and hundreds of passes, and doing the tightrope on the sidelines, square routes, square ins, post patterns. So how important is that? Tell people how important is that as far as the quarterback and that wide receiver to get to that rhythm, through that type of individual practice.
Yeah. Again, that's where in game situations, it's like when people say, like marriage, when people in marriages, right? And the chemistry is real good in a marriage, they say, I can finish his or her sentence because we have that type of chemistry. It's the same thing in football. Yes, they run all those routes in practice and get the timing down, but where that chemistry really comes in play is during the game. It's like Peyton, Marvin, and Reggie Wayne as well. Now, let's not forget about Reggie Wayne.
Right.
They did not have to sit there, and Peyton didn't have to call no audible. It's like they just knew, when you see this read, when you see that safety there, or when you see this guy come down in the box, hey, this is what we're running. So it's like they could finish each other's sentences, so finish each other's route. So I think it's very important to have that chemistry, not only from a physical throwing, but also that mental. Y'all seeing the same thing. And the coaches look at film and say, guys, what were y'all thinking right here? Coach, we just saw this and that, and we got on the same page, and boom. So that's when you got real good chemistry with your wide receivers as a quarterback, when you guys just change up the route without nobody else knowing what you're doing.
And I just want to say something before we go to Todd's comment with what you were saying, how they did that and they practiced every day. That is also what a lot of people fail to realize. When you see these athletes making these great plays in the game, and it's just like, oh my goodness, that was just so unbelievable. How did they do that? It's because great plays are done in practice, and they do it over and over again. And that's how they're able to do those great plays in the game. So please believe that it's not just something like that's just happening right then and there. It's like Tyrone was saying, when you keep doing these plays, you develop that chemistry with one another. And then that's how they're able to make these great plays in the game. So that's just something that a lot of people and any of our youth that are out there watching, it's not just what you do in practice and in the games, but it's what you do outside of that, doing your own practice and being better. To be the greatest that you can be, you have to do more than just the allotted practice time.
And can I ask that quick question Todd had up real quick about Jerry Rice, and we need that here in Atlanta? And I agree with Todd. I'll be very quick. What some organizations have that others don't, I believe, when you think about the 49ers organization, any organization where greatness, you think about greatness, they still have their veteran players who no longer play for the team, still come around the facility. Now, I wonder how many old Falcons come around the facility and they grab Ritter. Where's Steve Bartkowski? Steve Bartkowski, hey, show up. Ritter, hey, this is how we play football here in Atlanta, man. This is how we do it. So that puts pressure on Ritter to say, hey, I can't let Steve Bartkowski down. I can't, even if Matt Ryan came back, hey, this is how we did it here in Atlanta when I was here, man. What are you doing? You having any trouble? Talk to me. Wide receivers, Drake London, hey, some great Roddy White, show back up at the facility. Hey, this is how we did it here in Atlanta when I was here, man. Come on, London, you ain't doing it good enough. But I bet when you go to the 49ers practices, I bet you even Ronnie Lott be in practice, watching. So I do believe where teams that win the most consistently, I bet you see some of their past players showing up, standing on the sideline, telling them rookies, hey, you making that uniform look bad. Pick up your game. So that's what Atlanta needs.
My husband definitely did that with the Vikings. He was always there, going to practices, talking to the players. So yes, just like what Tyrone says, that is what you see with great teams and with great players and veterans that have been there that want to see the team succeed. You should automatically want to continue to see your team succeed and reach out to those younger players, or even not just the young players, all the players. I think that the veterans should definitely be there, like Tyrone is saying, and like, hey, this is how we did it, and support them and encourage them, because I think that means a lot to these younger guys, especially, but even the older guys.
They bring back the Dirty Bird with Jamal Anderson. Hey.
We need something, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I think one of the biggest problems with the Falcons are they don't have a long enough winning tradition, and the winning tradition is actually still new. I mean, because two of your best players are still semi-active, so we won't unfortunately see them around the Falcons camp for probably another couple of years. But yeah, I think it would be great if they could do that. Chuck Smith is a guy that I think the Falcons should have brought in a long time ago. He is the sack guru. Why they've never brought him in to help with all the problems they have with defensive line, I'm not sure, but that's above my pay grade. I don't know. But the one thing I do know, guys, anytime we have anybody on our show, co-host or guest, we want to make sure that you guys know how you can find out more about them. So, you know who the champion, Tyrone Poole, the floor is yours.
Hey, appreciate it, Jonathan. Again, thank everybody for watching Real Talk Sports, where we talk real sports, right? So you can follow me on all social media, Tyrone Poole 38. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Queen Tree. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Until next Tuesday, try not to eat too much.
Work that
he's
thing.
talking to me.
Work that thing. Hey, there you go.
Work that thing. Work that thing.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Work that thing. All right, Tyrone. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Ms. Tree Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and for your comments. You can find me on social media at Purple Diva 13, as well as Ms. America International 2022.
All right, guys, that's it from the Queen. That's it from Tyrone. Here's it from me, guys. We appreciate you so much for being on the broadcast and joining us. We want to encourage you to please follow the show at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. Also, you can follow me personally at Minister J. Sim anywhere on social media. Remember, you also can do this. You can be a part of the show. If you have a coach, a player, or someone doing something great in the community, please let us know. Send me an email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or simply text me at 678-410-9833. All right, guys, it's very, very important. You see the world and all the things that are going on. So I'm going to ask you the question I ask you every week before I leave. Do you have a relationship with God by having a relationship with his son, Jesus Christ? If you don't, I'm going to tell you, please, man, please, sir, get to know him today. Why? Nobody loves you like Jesus. He came here, died for you, and rose from the dead. And the cool thing is that if you repent of your sins and believe that, 2 great things happen. Number 1, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now, that's right, you can go to God like a loving parent, ask him for anything you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And number 2, if and when you die, you go to that happy place called heaven, where there's going to be none of the following: no pain, no pandemic, no bad people anywhere. It's beautiful and sunny all the time because the glory of God illuminates the whole kingdom. Matter of fact, the streets are paved with a gold that's so pure, it's translucent. And you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the bad people are going to be. It's terrible, it's dark, it's dreary. But most of all, you cut off from God, Jesus Christ, and all the people of love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like option number 1 instead of option number 2. All right, guys, until the next time we get a chance to be with you again, we say, as we always do, God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whichever may apply. So long.
Bye.